of a country which was a donor recipient 50 years ago. Today, you are giving donations to countries like Africa, Uganda, and Africa. I want to encourage you to always keep up the spirit.
우간다에서 오신 새마을협력관 카용고 씨와 인터뷰를 시작하겠습니다. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Could you introduce yourself first?
Okay, my name is Kayongo Stephen. I'm the Samandong coordinator from Uganda, East Africa.
According to your record, you were involved in 새마을운동 since 2011.
Yes, right.
Is there any motivation?
Oh, yes, of course. Samandong in Uganda, since I joined in 2011, I'm so motivated because I've seen it has changed the mindset of the people of Uganda. Since we began in the villages where Samandong is being practiced, people's mindset has been changed. The roads are clean, the environment is clean. And when you go to the villages, you find that even the income level has increased from the time SMU came to Uganda. Yeah.
You said that you are the secretary of the SMU mobile school.
Yes.
What's it? Please tell me about it.
Yeah, I founded this project in 2011, and the main aim of the Uganda Samandong Mobile School is to extend Samandong in other villages. And how we do it, we have different trainers. Right now, around 54 trainers whom we send to different villages to teach SMU model and also establish new villages. And so far, we have over 340 villages in Uganda which are practicing Samandong on self-help spirit through this mobile school and other projects.
What's the most futuristic point of Samandong?
Oh, the most important element of Samandong is mindset change. Because when you look at Africa and Uganda in particular, our challenge has been mindset. People think they are poor. They think they are cursed. They think they have many challenges. But the problem we've realized in Uganda and Africa is mindset problem. That's why our focus is on training villagers to start believing in themselves, to start believing that they can also do it. Before SMU came to Uganda, people were redundant, lazy, they cannot work in groups, they're working on self-help, their personal projects. But when SMU came, the mindset changed. Now, through trainings, we are seeing that the mindset is very important here. Yeah, so it's the most important element to tackle when we are training and propagating the model in Uganda.
According to the human history, there are so many trials to change the mindset of the people.
Yeah.
But why Samandong made a huge success?
Yeah, because Samandong starts from a local level, whereby even village people can understand, can easily change. It is simple. Because, for example, in Uganda, we had a system whereby local people used to clean their roads, they used to work together. But after some time, it had collapsed. Now, when we introduced this model in Uganda, we have seen that it has become easy for people to easily adopt to the system. So I think the reason why Samandong mindset and model has been easily established in Uganda or propagated, because it's almost similar to what people have been doing for some time. And it's very easy. Just start from a small, what you have. Not big capital. You don't need a big capital. You need something small and from nearby to do something in Samandong. Yeah.
As a Samandong leader,
Yeah.
What's your main goal in the future?
Yeah, my main goal in future as a Samandong leader and coordinator is to make my country a self-reliant country. Because we want to stop this idea of depending on foreigners, depending on aids, depending on support from other countries. I want to make my country a self-reliant country through Samandong. That's why I encourage training villagers, mindset change, transformation, and also cooperation. Yeah.
Why Samandong leader is very important to implement Samandong in the village of Uganda?
I think Samandong leader is very important because any group, any association without a leader cannot succeed. And any good leader must know the way. He has to show the way and go the way. That's why if a village has no good leader, it cannot succeed. That's why, in my observation, the last years I've been in Semaundong, I've seen that villages where leaders are good and active, they're hardworking, and they're innovative, these villages succeed quickly. And in villages where leaders are lazy, they're not creative, not innovative, they are not growing well. So a leader is very important if a Semaundong is to succeed in any country.
Who can be the Semaundong leader?
A good Semaundong leader must be creative, innovative, hardworking, and focus on changing the village. And also he must be a trainer, because a good leader must train others. That's why I said a good leader must know the way, he has to show the way and go the way. That's why he must be exemplary. So a leader of Semaundong has to be exemplary, showing others how to behave, how to change their community. So it begins from you. What you teach others, you have to practice first. So that's to be a good leader of Semaundong.
As I may know, the Semaundong African Center will open in November at somewhere in Uganda. So what's the meaning of it?
Okay, in November.
Yes, in November.
Okay.
I heard that
Yeah.
African Center for Semaundong will open in Uganda.
Okay.
Uganda.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not very clear about it, but I think it's all about training. I think training, because we are planning to see that countries in Africa come and receive training at Uganda, maybe from Congo, from Zambia, from other African countries. So we are looking at a plan where we can invite people from different countries to come and take trainings in Uganda. I think that's the case. Yeah.
what's your dreamful future after 10 years or after 20 years in Uganda?
Well, my dream in future as a coordinator right now, as a Semaundong leader, as a Ugandan, it is to see that the young people have transformed and really love their country, really love their country. Today we have a challenge in Africa and Uganda in particular. Many young people are leaving Uganda to go and start working in Arab countries, to work as housemaids, to work as securities. They are leaving their farmland. They are leaving their land, their country, beautiful country. We are blessed with good weather, good climate, good soils, but Ugandan people, young men and women, are running away to go and look for jobs in Arabia, which is a desert. Why? Because of poor mindset. Now I'm trying to see that after 10 years, no more Ugandans will be moving to Arab countries, to other countries to look for jobs. Let them sit in our country and develop our own land and our own resources, which we are having to change the future of Uganda.
You mentioned about the good leader of Semaundong. So, do you happen to heard about President Park Chung-hee, the founder of Semaundong?
Yes, of course, I heard about him.
What do you think about him?
To me, I think he was a good leader, because a good leader must show the way. When I read the history of South Korea, and especially Semaundong model, in the beginning, the president showed people how to change their community from nothing to something. Some people may think the president was harsh, maybe he was not good, but I think that's the way we can change our communities. Some people's mindset don't believe that things can change. They think they can't go anywhere. They think they have no blessing. So a leader who is focused and really serious, who is really a trainer, who is showing others the way, is very good. I think President Park Chung-hee was a good example of a good leader. He was showing others the way. He knew what he wanted. He was focused on development. Yes.
So, how can President Park Chung-hee to change the mindset of the country people?
Yeah, I think he used the system of leadership, his leadership, whereby he used to always monitoring villages, people using leaders. I heard that sometimes if a leader could not do his purpose, his responsibility, he was even punished. I had some times when they were planting trees, forests. He could post some leaders who could even count how many trees you have planted, how many trees you planted. So in case they find that the trees are not the number they told you, you could get punishment. I think that kind of leadership was good. He was using authority to command the work. And I think this is very good. Sometimes to change the mindset of people, you need to use some kind of, sometimes you may need some force, sometimes it may need some good leadership within the community.
Do you expect any good leader comes from Uganda?
Uganda, yeah, of course. We have people in Uganda with different ideas. Right now, our president is trying to introduce some kind of model which is almost similar to Samarundong. It's called PDM, that is Parish Development Model. It is all the same pillars like self-help, diligence, and cooperation. I believe that Uganda also one time raised such a leader like President Park Chung-hee, who can really love their country with a love. I think President Park loved his country. And if we can have presidents who can love their country, they can always think about their villages and motivate villagers to work for their countries.
Do you have any further comment about the achievement of President Park Chung-hee?
Yes. Yeah, I think another achievement about President Park Chung-hee, this President Park Chung-hee, according to the history and what I've read about him, he was a man who was focused. He loved his country with all his heart. That's why up to now, what he started is still moving on. He started on a simple, it was not easy to begin that time. People's mindset in Korea was down. The men used to drink, just drinking. They were lazy, gambling. But he's changed the country's system, the country's economy from a donor recipient country to now to a donor country. Because of that spirit of diligence, President Parker was a diligent leader who always worked hard to change his country. I think I could really recommend and commend his work, what he did in Korea, to be a diligent leader, a man who was focused on developing his country.
Do you happen to have a dream to be the Ugandan Park Chung-hee yourself?
Yeah. Yes, when I first got the life story of Park Chung-hee, I got motivation. I said, if one day I can be like this gentleman, I had a dream of standing in the gap for the future. Because Park Chung-hee was one man, but he has changed the story of Korea. I think it doesn't need to be a president to change the country. I don't need to be a minister to change my country. I can start by myself, by changing my family, my community, and one time I can change Uganda through this mindset.
If you had a chance to meet Park Chung-hee in person, what do you want to ask to him?
If I had a chance to meet the President Park Chung-hee in person, I would ask him to really consider to emphasize more trainings to our people, because our challenge in Africa, our challenge in Uganda is not poverty, is not lack of skills, not lack of knowledge. Our challenge is mindset. If I could meet him, I could ask him for resources, for motivation, to teach our people, African, how they can change their mindset, how they can change their villages, and then the nation.
Could you give a message to Korean people?
I want to thank all Korean people. Thank you so much for loving the developing countries, for being a good example of a country which was a donor recipient 50 years ago. Today, you are giving donations to countries like Africa, Uganda, and Africa. I want to encourage you to always keep up the spirit. And I would like to ask all Koreans, wherever you are, to always remember where you came from. You were once a poor country. Today, you have gone to a higher level. Maintain what you have by keep doing and keep focused, not breaking what you have built now in 50 years. Keep in cooperation, keep together, and always work in cooperation with the developing countries to see that one time they also be like you. Thank you very much.
Could you leave a message to the Ugandan people or Ugandan young generation, please?
Yeah. See, to my fellow Ugandans, especially young men and women, I want to tell you, Uganda is a good country. It is so good. We are blessed by God. We have the fertile soils. We have good weather. We have cultures. We are so blessed. We have everything we need. But we have to think about mindset. We are not cursed. We are not a problem. The only challenge we have is mindset change. So let us try to work hard to change our mindset. Let us believe in ourselves that we can make it. Start with that small capital you have. Start with that land you have. Utilize that what you have. I know one time we shall reach there. Let us be strong and believe in ourselves that we can make it. We shall make it one day if we come together and be diligent and start what we have.
Thank you for having an interview.
You're welcome.
It's a great honor to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.